Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be talking about my EDS story and the reason I wanted to join the HMSA. Everything I'm saying here, I don't want anyone to think this is one size fits all. This is just my journey. This isn't about, I'm not trying to say do this, do that. I'm just saying this is what happened to me personally. So my EDS story starts when I was about the age of 6 or 7, and my teacher came to my parents and said that I was walking a bit differently than a lot of the other children were. Whenever I'd skip or when I'd run, my feet would turn completely in on themselves and I would walk almost like a duck but inwards instead of outwards. I went to my GP and he said that I need to go see a physio. So off I went to a physio and showed them all the things I could do, and they turned around and said, yeah, your daughter's hypermobile. And it's quite a common thing in children. And then as my life progressed and I got older, I still had problems with my feet. I was backwards and forwards to the physio to try and correct me, turn my feet in. Each time I went, there would be a different opinion as to why my feet were turning in. So originally when I went when I was 7, we needed to strengthen my feet. Then when I went back a few years later, it was because I was flat-footed and I needed arches in my feet. So I got special insoles for my shoes to try and help with that. Then when I went a few years after that, it was because my hips weren't aligned properly, which was causing my foot to turn in. So everybody had a bit of a different opinion. But as I got to my teenage years, I started experiencing a lot more pain. I would go out with my friends a lot more for long walks and shopping trips, and I'd come back and I'd be in a lot of pain. But a lot of my friends were also saying, oh well, we hurt too. And I just assumed my high level of pain was exactly the same as the level of pain that everybody else was feeling. So I didn't think I was doing anything different. Between probably the age of 16 and 18, back problems were really kicking in. So I went back to the physio and they put me on a core stability course, and this was a 6-week intensive course, but it was fine, it helped. I did the exercises, but I was still having a lot of pain. My legs were still giving out from underneath me. I was then told I probably have sciatica. So we went and saw a chiropractor. But as I was at the chiropractor, he would crack my back and that would feel amazing for about 5 minutes. Because then the moment I got up, I got myself dressed and walked out to my car, the pain would come shooting back tenfold. So I stopped going to see the chiropractor because I wasn't seeing any long-term benefits, and he was also agreeing with that. I then moved away from home and things started getting hard. Climbing stairs all the time. I started full-time work and I was in a lot of pain. Vacuuming was becoming impossible. Things got really difficult really quickly for me. And I just thought that's just what everybody experiences. When you get to adulthood, life hurts. It's just how, it was just so normal to me that I did not think anything of it. So this was going on for a few months now, and I was just with my partner and we were watching a comedy news show. And at the end it has a little snippet of good news to make you feel better about the world, and it was about a girl who had hypermobility syndrome and how she was painting with her feet instead of her hands because she had a lot of problems with dexterity. And they described her hypermobility syndrome as a disability. And I've always known I was hypermobile, like I said, from a very young age, so it kind of put me back a bit and I was like, why would it be counted as a disability? What about it could make a disability? I just thought it just made your joints a bit looser. I never in my head added up that the pain I was feeling could be caused by that. I got onto Google and I typed in hypermobility just so I could know actually what it is that I've got, because it was just something that's been thrown around all my life. I didn't really think too much about it. And then I came straight across the HMSA, first thing that came up, and started having a read, and it was really shocking. They basically had on this website describing my life, describing my pain, being a bit clumsy, falling, all these sorts of things. And I was a bit shocked. So I was looking through their website and it explained that there's different forms of hypermobility and different, there's like a spectrum. And there's a thing called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So I kept looking through the website and said, this needs to be diagnosed by a rheumatologist. They're normally the people that are able to help because they deal with joints. And I'd never heard of a rheumatologist, I didn't know what they did, and I was suddenly kind of rabbit in the headlights. Maybe I need to see a rheumatologist, maybe that could help me. By this time I've got a new GP in my new hometown, so off I go to the GP, explain my situation, say I really want to see a rheumatologist. Now, I didn't have the nicest GP, and he kind of laughed in my face and said, that's not how it works. You have to go through the stages to get to see a rheumatologist. So off I go to a physio. I explained to her all the exercises that I was doing, what I've been doing throughout my life to get me to this point, and why I really want to go to a rheumatologist. And she said I was doing everything she would recommend me to do. So she got me referred to the local rheumatologist. I got in there and the guy grabbed hold of my neck, pulled it and said, well, your skin's not really stretchy, so you don't have EDS. So you can stop worrying, you can stop Googling your symptoms, you're absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong with you. And from going from this big journey of there might be a reason behind the pain I'm feeling that my housemates weren't feeling, that my friends and family weren't feeling, maybe there was something to it, to be kind of smacked in my face, no, there's nothing wrong with you, was very, very hard. I went into work the next day and I cried and cried and cried. This can't be the be all end all. They had a very supportive workforce. You were entitled to a second opinion. So I got on the HMSA's website and in a complete fit of just hysteria emailed them. Is there anything I can do? Is there anyone you can recommend? Is there anything I can do? And I got this lovely email back, and I wouldn't be able to tell you the name of the lady, but she said that this happens to a lot of people, that she was very sorry. There's not really too much the HMSA can do, but there are on the website a list of medical professionals, rheumatologists that I could ask to be referred to. You can't call up their clinic and write them a letter and say, hey, can you see me? You've got to go through your GP. So I was obviously sent back. I was very grateful for that. And I sat down and I wrote all my thoughts and feelings in a letter. And I rang up my GP and booked an appointment, but I asked to see a different doctor. And I went in to see this doctor, I gave her the letter, and I sat there and I bawled my eyes out and told her how I felt I'd been treated and how difficult my life was, and how my whole world at that time was filled with I can't vacuum, I can hardly work, I can't. And she said, right, what I'm going to do is I've never heard of this place, I've never heard of this this rheumatologist, I never dealt with anyone like you, but I will do whatever I can to try and help, and I will try my best to get you referred. Can I take this letter? I'll send it off with the request for your referral. And one thing she said to me, she said, now when you go away, I don't want you to keep saying I can't, and focus on what you can do, because this is your first step to getting things better. It took about another 3 months before I got to actually be referred to this person that I'd found on the HMSA's website. And he did the most thorough check I have ever experienced. He was a lead rheumatologist and he went through every single one of my joints, tested out my muscle strength, what I can and can't do, did the Baton score. I've never had such a thorough medical examination. It was well over an hour of him just working out what my body is, what it does, and what its limitations were. He sat there and went, well, I would give you a diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome from what I've seen, and from my assessment of you and speaking to you, that's what I believe you have. So, well, I saw a rheumatologist 3 months ago, and from being told there was nothing wrong with me to actually having a diagnosis was this big weight off my shoulders. I wasn't looking to have a syndrome, I wasn't looking to have anything, but to have an explanation as to why I hurt, why I am the way I am, was absolutely wonderful, and like, it was just fantastic. I wasn't going to go around and go, hey, I've got this, I therefore can't do these things. I was like, no, so this is what I know, this is what I can research, and this is what I can build from. And that's what I've been doing. I was then referred to his physios, his occupational therapists, people that deal with my condition on a daily basis. And they were wonderful, and I was going to see them quite often, and they decided to refer me to the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital inpatient rehabilitation programme. That was wonderful. That I will do a whole video on that, explaining what happened there. For those 3 weeks I finally met people like me. I met people my age with exactly the same condition, and to be able to speak the way I'm speaking now about what was happening to me, what I now know to be dislocations, subluxations, my clumsiness, my spatial awareness, POTS, getting dizzy all the time, they were going, yeah, me too. And not as in, oh yeah, I've experienced that too. Yeah, me too, daily. It was amazing, and I thank my lucky stars that happened to me. That was wonderful. I went into the 3-week programme as a very down, not too sure what my future was. debating whether work was safe for me anymore because I was getting a lot more painful. I had to move back home to be with my parents because I wasn't eating because I couldn't prepare meals for myself. So I went from doing everything and being able to do everything to go back home and not being able to do a lot. And it was very difficult for me mentally. And that was the biggest hurdle, I think, mentally. And I came out of this 3-week programme much more positive, knowing that I could pick up the phone and call someone, text someone, Facebook someone that was like me, experiencing the same things, and I could just vent if I needed to, and they could just the same vent to me. It wasn't as if my friends and my family weren't supportive, because they were 100%, but to have someone go, yeah, I feel that way, was just I think it was just the tip I needed to just jump off that cliff and just fall into the unknown and just be okay with that. A much more positive me, ecstatic that I'd found people like me. I had more investigative tests because I didn't realise either I had POTS. I went through 2 tests for that, and I met up with the lead cardio specialist. I'm not too sure what his title was, and he said he'd never met anyone my age that was so positive. Came in a wheelchair with a partner by her side, laughing and smiling about this condition, and just kind of wanting a diagnosis so that if I went into hospital or next time I see my GP, it's there written down. I'm not trying to label myself, I just want him to know what I've got before they then have to go, well, prove to me you've got this, because if I've got a specialist saying I've got it, that's it, it's on my record. And he was just like, I need you to meet people. I need you to speak to some of my girls that are younger than you and see no point to life because of their problems. They can't see a way out. And I said, I've been there. I've definitely been there, but I've jumped over that bridge. I'm there. I'm experiencing life, enjoying life. I'm adapting life to me rather than me having to adapt to life. And he was really wanted to take down my email, really wanted to see if I could somehow set up a group. I jumped on Facebook, set up a group, and was talking on a few different hypermobility forums and just saying, hey guys, anyone near my area, I want to try and set up some sort of support group for people like me. I just wanted to get out there, speak to people and share my positivity in hope that I could help make other people's lives better. I was on one of these forums and a lady commented and said, why don't you join a charity to do this? Because it kind of makes a bit more sense. You get the backing from the charity, you get the insurance from the charity, members will be fed to you. And I thought, oh, I don't know. I finished my job about 10 months previously, and I spent a lot of time focusing on me, my exercises, and making me the best me I could be. And I thought, do you know what, yeah, I do need to help people, and if this is the way to do it, I will. So I contacted the HMSA, and I said I'd love to have a go at trying to be a group leader. Any way I can help people, I'm always going to try. After a few references from my previous jobs and a good chat with our HMSA coordinator, she said, yeah, we'd love to have you on board as group leader. And it was just this wonderful, wonderful feeling that I'm out there and I'm going to be able to help people like me in my area and beyond. So that's why I joined the HMSA, because without them I wouldn't be positive. I don't think I'd be as happy as I am, and I certainly wouldn't have had the help and support that I obviously needed, and so many more do need. That's my EDS journey and the reason I joined the HMSA. If there is anything you'd like me to make a video about, if you've got any questions, anything at all, please leave a comment down below, email the YouTube page, whatever you feel more comfortable doing. I can do things anonymously, that's not a problem. Because the more I can get out here on YouTube, the more chance me, 4 years ago, getting on the internet and just typing in my condition, I'd be able to watch a video about it rather than having to read through all these different pages upon pages to try and find out what actually relates to me. To be able to listen to somebody and see someone that has the same things as me, that's what I want other people to be able to see. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you for my next video. Take care, bye.